everyone, my name is Felix and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I haven't been posting for the past 2 to 3 months. I don't know. When was the last time I posted a video? It's been a while. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that because I've been really busy in real life, college and work and all of that. It's just so tiring. But well, after waiting for quite a long time, I finally got an opportunity to make another video because a teacher of mine, Mrs. Mariani, gave me an assignment to make an educational video. To be completely honest, when I was given this assignment, I was pretty confused on what topic I want to make a video on. And then I took a look at my channel and I realized I made a lot of 3D animation. And then I thought to myself, well, why don't I just make a video on how to make 3D animation? But then of course making 3D animation is pretty complicated, so I decided to dumb it down and make it a simpler version. So this educational video is going to be about how to simplify 3D animation. So basically this video is for you guys who wants to make a 3D animation but doesn't want to put too much time into studying or research into making it. Without further ado, let's just start the video. So the very first thing when it comes to 3D animation, you need to have a story. Because well, an animation needs a story. If you don't have a story, then you don't really know what you wanted to make. You don't need something too big, don't make something too grand, just make something simple, like some guy walking on the field or some kid swimming in the pool or pond or whatever, really. Just don't make it too hard on yourself because the more complicated the story you make, the more complicated it will be to animate the story that you're going to make. So make sure to keep your story short and simple. But of course, just because you have a story inside of your head, you can't just go ahead and animate it. You need to visualize it first. So to visualize the story that you have in your head, you need to make a storyboard. A storyboard is basically just panels of comics that kind of unravel the story that you have inside of your head. I already made mine, so here we go, take mine as an example. If you don't understand, then it doesn't really matter because the only person that the story needs to make sense to is the animator. And since I'm working alone, the only one who needs to understand the storyboard is me and myself. But if you're working in a group, then make sure to make your storyboard as clear as possible so other people and other animators know what they're going to animate. And also, a storyboard doesn't need to look really good. You can just draw it however you want, just like mine. I just draw it in a stickman style. I don't want to make it too fancy because again, I'm the only one who's going to look at it. Alright, so now that you're done with the storyboard, you can go ahead and find the assets that you're going to use in your animation. Some of you might be asking, what is an asset? An asset is basically everything that you're seeing in your animation. So as an example, the environment, the characters, the props, even the background. So basically, assets are models that you're going to use inside of your animation. So yeah, we're going to try to find those assets. I'm trying to find a Master Chief 3D model. Some of you may know who Master Chief is, some of you may not. He's the main character from Halo. You can go ahead and Google it, so you will find out more about him. So long story short, he's just a badass guy. That's why I want him to be in my animation. I also need another character to act as a victim who died in a war, and someone who will fight the main character. Give me a few seconds, I will try to find some. Alright, now that we are done with finding every single assets that we need, we can move on to a process that some of you might hate, some of you might like. Yes, I'm talking about the animating process. This probably is the hardest part of making animation because this is going to be the longest one. You're going to need to put a lot of effort into doing this. However, the title says that I will be making this easy, so I'm just going to introduce you guys to a website that I use a lot whenever I feel too lazy to animate anything. The website is called Mixamo. Basically, you just drag any model, any humanoid model that you want to animate into this website, and the website will animate it for you. So as an example, if I want to animate Master Chief, I can go ahead and drag him and put him here. And the website's auto rigger will rig the model for me and animate it for me. Some of you may be asking, what is a rig? A rig is basically a set of bones that are put inside of models to make that model work, to make that model move. Just like humans, a 3D model needs to have bones to move. So yeah, that is what a rig is. So as you can see, right after I uploaded the model, the website directly rig it for me, so I don't have to do anything. I can just go ahead and click next and next. So now if I want the character to do something, I can just pick from the library of movement that we have right here. So as an example, if I want the character, if I want Master Chief to crawl, I can just choose this thing and he will crawl. It's as easy as that. However, I do need to remind you guys before you go ahead and complain in the comments about this. Mixamo motion capture library isn't that complete, so there will be some movements that you will have to animate yourself. And just because it is rigged for you and animated for you doesn't mean that you will not find any glitch in the animation. So there are going to be some times where you have to edit the animation yourself. If you want this animation, you can go ahead and click download and download, and your computer will start downloading the animation and the model that you're looking at right now. So give me a few minutes, I will try to find every single animation and model that I need. I will download all of it and we can move on to the Blender stage. Okay, I already find every single model and assets that I need. Now we can go ahead and start using Blender. This is not the usual Blender. This is not what you usually greeted when you open Blender. You usually greet it with a single menu where you could choose what project you want to make. So when you're there, go ahead and choose General Project and it will show you this scene. So yeah, this is your very basic scene. Whenever you start a new project in Blender, you can go ahead and delete this cube because this is not going to be useful to us. So you can go ahead and start adding some stuff to the scene. Go ahead and add a plane. A plane is basically the floor. It's where your character will be acting, and it is basically where you will be shooting your animation. So you can go ahead and make a floor for it because of course your characters need to stand or something, because making an animation where the character just floats, it's not going to be realistic. So yeah, you need a floor. Next, you can go ahead and spawn your character in by using the import settings. You can go ahead and import the stuff that you need. Master Chief, and I can go ahead and import Master Chief. So here we go, Master Chief in all his glory. He's just, you know, chilling, kneeling down. So you see, this thing are the bones of Master Chief. So if you don't want to see it, you can just go ahead and boop, there we go. The bones are no more, you cannot see it anymore. However, it still works. So if you play it, yeah, he's still there, he's still breathing, you can still see the movement. So you don't have to worry about Master Chief losing his bones. He's fine, don't worry about it. Alright, so next we can go ahead and apply some textures into Master Chief, because as you can see right now, he's not looking too textury, he's looking pretty clay-like, really. So you can go ahead and see? Oh yeah, so the texture is already applied to Master Chief. I guess I don't need to add any more texture. So yeah, this is basically going to be the first scene of our animation. However, as you can see, we don't have any backgrounds and the floor is way too plain. So I'm just going to add some stuff. I'll get back to you guys later after I'm done editing everything that I need to edit. After I'm done adding everything that I need to add and deleting everything that I need to delete. Be back in a few seconds. Alright, I added some background and I added some textures to the ground so it doesn't look so empty. Now we can start adding every single stuff that we need into our animation. So as an example, I already have my Master Chief right here, but as we can see from the storyboard right here, there's supposed to be a Master Chief and a victim who died in a war. So we can go ahead and import the victim that I have right here. If I can find it, here we go, my laying pose. There we go, here's the guy. So we can go ahead and move him if we want, so like this. And we can go and rotate him a little bit so he will look like he's facing Master Chief is looking at him. See why. There we go. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We can go ahead and hide the bones Yeah, let me change the color a little bit because I want the guy to look a little bit different from Master Chief. Let's make him, I don't know, let's make him a little, let's make him blue. Yeah, just blue. No, just blue, purple, blue like purple stuff. I don't know. I'm just going to color him whatever. I'm just going to give him a random color. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm not going to change it anymore. So yeah, this is our first scene. We got our first scene. We can go ahead and move our camera here. Press this button so you can get the camera view, and you can move it from this. You can move it from this panel right here. So basically, when it comes to making 3D animation easily, that's all you need to know. That's all the basics. You just have to tinker with it. However, the video does not end here because, well, this is barely 50% of the animation that I'm going to make. So I will work on it, and then I will render everything out, and then I will show you guys the end product of the animation that I'm currently making. Alright, it's been 8 hours. I just finished rendering every single scenes and clips that we need for 3D animation. Now all there's left to do is to put it inside of an editing software and edit the animation. I need to add the voices, the sound effects, the BGM, etc. I know that some 3D animation guru will tell you to add the sound in the animating process, but I guess I'm a little bit different because I prefer to add it after I'm done rendering everything, because then I can control the sound easier compared to just adding the sound while I'm animating, because it will be pretty hard for me to animate while also listening to the sound. Before I start editing and showing you guys the animation, I wanted to thank all of you who are still watching the video up until this point. It's really rare for people to watch my video from the start to the end, so yeah, for those of you who are still watching right now, I really appreciate you coming to the video, and I do hope that this educational video benefits you in some way. I mean, like, I was once like you, an artist who doesn't know where to start when it comes to 3D animation, and eventually I kind of figure it out, and the reason why I make this video is kind of a way for me to pass on what I know, how I start, to you guys who are an amateur artist or an artist who doesn't even know how to start in 3D animation. So yeah, once again, I really do hope that this educational video helps you in some way. Yeah, I guess that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and here's the final result.